You people hide the labels on purpose. Oh, this is just getting so ridiculous. Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be exploring a different subreddit. We're going to be exploring the subreddit of Tales from Retail. Now, I worked in a lot of retail roles before, so I'm actually intrigued to find out some other people's experiences in retail. So let's just get right into it. But I've also worked in a store before. I remember this one very well. It happened the day after the thief who got cold feet story. It was one day before our national day and I was at work at the grocery store. This was some years ago. I was working late closing shift, 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Oh, that's rough. The store closes at 11 p.m. Around 10:50 p.m, a lady with a typical Karen haircut and purple hair colour walks into the store and grabs a shopping cart and walks into the opposite end of the store with meat fridges and freezers. Of course she does. I start the closing routines and don't think much of it. The time hits 11, I finish my routines and the lady is still standing there in the exact same spot. I go to tell her that the store is closed and before I get a single word in, she says, how am I going to do this Karen accent? Okay. I know the store is closed. I know you want to go home. Is that American? I don't know. I've worked in a store before, you know. Oh, that was awful. I kind of just responded with, Listen, I've worked in a store before. You always let the customer finish shopping. And then she starts rambling incomprehensibly. What? No, you have not worked in retail before. Because no, let me tell you something. If a customer is shopping and it's time to close, you best believe someone is standing there ushering them out the door. You are not letting them finish. You are letting them finish what they're doing in the exact moment and they are out the door. The time hits 23:05. She finally starts moving, but was swerving between the freezers, not grabbing anything. On the way to the cash registers, she suddenly takes a sharp right turn to look at something. The entire time she's rambling to me about something, I was spacing out and just following her to make sure she leaves. Honestly, 11 p.m. is late. Like, to have a grocery store open at that time is, like, interesting. Quite, like, brave. But even then, like, why, girl, what are you doing? 11:05. Grocery shopping. Like, unless you're getting some ice cream for a late night, like, go back and go to bed. Finally, at 11:12, she makes it to the register and my colleague scans her items. Then she realizes she forgot something and is about to go grab it, but before she does, I say, I'll go grab it for you, which I did. Oh, honestly, give this person a raise. I return with the item and my colleague scans it through. Then she asks about cigarettes. The store uses an electronic safe that you pay for a ticket, you scan, and then the item drops like a vending machine. Okay. While tapping the screen in front of the register, my colleague explains that whatever cigarettes she wanted, we were out of. She scoffs and proceeds to look for her wallet in her purse. Okay. After rummaging for what felt like forever, she finds the wallet, pays, and packs her stuff in a bag and heads for the exit. I follow her to lock the doors. She notices some National Day flower bouquets by the exit and is about to stop and look at them when she probably noticed me rolling my eyes and she left. The time was now around 11:23 and my colleague still needed to finish counting the till. The entire time from when I first walked up to the lady and until she left, she was rambling about stores and how she worked in one and I know how it is and stuff. Lady, if you know, then please leave so I can go home. Yes, exactly. This, I don't know if those people are actually ever saying the truth when they say, yeah, I've worked in a store before, and then they just say the most unrealistic thing. I'm like, well, no, if you worked at a store before, then you wouldn't enter the store if it's at closing time. If anything, because I've worked in so many stores, I'm actually more empathetic to everyone working in stores because I know what it's like. And I know it's a long day, especially 11 p.m. Oh my god, I'd be locking the doors for you. That is just absolutely hilarious though. And the audacity of some people, it's insane. I've had customers come in really late before and I try and be helpful to them just so they can get the product and leave. Then they still take forever and they don't realize that we're closing. It's the most excruciatingly painful experience ever to exist. Someone said, when I worked in retail, fortunately our management required doors to be in exit mode only 15 minutes before closing. Nobody could purchase anything past the hour since registered would be remotely locked, same before opening. That's actually really good. I think a lot of my roles that we had like self-scans and stuff where you could shut them down. So a lot of the time past hour we'd be like, hey, well, you can't pay anymore because we physically shut the tills. But yeah, when you have tills and people are on it, it's a bit tough. On to the next one. Give me my receipt now. For context, I work in a store that sells sports, camping, outdoor and hunting equipment. This includes hunting rifles and air rifles. Damn, that's insane. Like in the UK, you'd never get that, which is why it's just like, oh, wow, That's kind of scary. I work there as a cashier. Said cashier is at the exit of this relatively large store. I have many strange stories from the store and a previous store. This is one of them. One day I am behind the only open register and a 50-something man comes stomping into the store straight up to my register, and without even being able to say hi, he says, "I need my receipt now," in a slightly irritated voice. Dumbfounded, I respond, "Okay, when did you come here for the purchase and what was it?" He responds, still slightly irritated, "I don't know when." I kind of just stare at him for a second before he continues, "Look, it should be around a year ago-ish." We have to do some magic shit to get the receipt from like the last transaction, let alone a year ago. My insurance company said you have it on record. Trying hard to not roll my eyes at him, I ask, "Do you have a more specific time frame? What month?" He gets slightly louder and more irritated before he says, "Look, I don't have time for this. Let me write down my info. I purchased an air rifle last year and I need the receipt." I have him write down his info before I ask one final question that would help me locate his receipt. "Are you a member of our store?" "Yes, I am." I check his number. Of course he isn't a member. Oh my God. Did he think he meant like member of the store as in like I have purchased something here before? Before I even get to tell him this, he's already on his way out of the store, even angrier now for whatever reason. This guy really thinks I would manually look for his receipt from around last year with an air rifle on it among several 100,000 receipts, keeping in mind that receipts aren't even kept in record that far back, at least not that I, a basic cashier, would have access to. Literally insane. Even receipts from the last transaction, if it's not out there, we need some kind of manager to go upstairs and search for it. Like, there's no way that it's going to be easy to find. The audacity of some people. Then also, why would you need a receipt from a year ago? Also, guaranteed, you probably got a receipt. Let's be honest. You probably got the receipt and you lost it. So the time it takes for me to go and search for it and print it out, probably just go home and find it. Or unless you put it in the bin, that's your fault. Yeah. Someone said it's an even bet that he misremembered where he bought it to. Literally. Yeah, it might even be that store. Someone said, don't know about other countries, but in the UK, that would be filed under B, as in rubbish bin. And yes, that is probably facts. Also, that is just like, if someone actually came and asked for a receipt from a year ago, I actually would just be like, no. Like, why? What even? Someone said, and why does he need it? For insurance purposes. Did he shoot someone with it? Was it stolen? House burned down or flooded? Inquiring minds want to know. Sleuthman, give us the deets when you come in like this. OP actually said, no clue to be honest, but my theory is that he may have accidentally shot someone or something, but he wasn't in any major distress, so probably no big harm done at the least. That's insane. No, I can never. Even so though, like, even if you want a receipt, like, do people just think it just like magics up in thin air? Like, people are so scared of tills and cash machines, but then suddenly when they have a really insane request, they're just not scared at all. They just think it can happen in like a split second. But even then, yeah, if you want a big request, then I would just calm down the attitude. I'm more likely to help someone if they're just nicer. So yeah, funny. The next one is bag on the side. What does this mean? I woke up thinking of this story and I figured this was the perfect place to air it. Years ago, I was managing a certain gag shift store in the mall. Yes, that one. I had a couple with a stroller come through, and as they were checking, I was dealing with the lady of the couple. She had purchased a few random items, t-shirt, jewelry, and a couple of other small items. As I rang her up, I grabbed a bag and started placing her things in a bag. She says, I don't need them in a bag. I say, okay, and put the bag back. She says, but I want the bag. We make eye contact and I look confused. I slowly grab the same bag from under the counter and gently place it on top of her stuff without putting anything in it and says, here's your bag, still confused. That is so funny. I mean, I always ask customers, do you want a bag before the purchase? And if they say yes, then yeah, you put the stuff in it. That is crazy. The next day, oh my God, it gets worse. The same couple comes back into the approaches my assistant manager, where the lady proceeds to ask to speak to the manager. My assistant comes to get me. I walk over to the couple, who I didn't know was the same couple at the time. Okay, the lady sees me and says, never mind, and leaves. She was about to complain on your ass. And honestly, to this day, I am still just as confused. What was your complaint? I would have liked to hear it. My only thought is that I didn't read her mind. I don't get it. That is so crazy to me. I don't understand. I also don't understand, like, What must be going on in people's lives to like complain about these little things? Also, I actually don't need to put items in the bag. We do it as a favor for you guys. Someone said, I wonder if the partner was stealing things while you were doing the checkout and concealing them in the stroller. Then they tried to come back for a refund on the stolen goods, but you would know they hadn't purchased them in the first place. This was often a tactic when I worked in supermarkets. Oh, that is juicy. Wow, that's actually crazy. That could be why they just wanted the bag, right? There was that scene in that film, I can't remember what it was, but it was with Sandra Bullock, and it was like when she goes in a store and she picks up a bunch of products and it's like, I forgot the receipt. Can I just get a bag for this, please? And then she walks out with the products all for free. Oh my god, that's actually insane. Well, it's a good job you're there then, because, I don't know. Seems kind of fishy to me. Oh, OP then said they all stood together while checking out, and the assistant that spoke to them when they came in was fully authorized to do returns. They were definitely back to complain about my behavior from the day prior. I still just don't get it. I don't get it either. It's some things you just don't get, especially when it comes to customers. Sometimes they have a bad day and they just take it out on you. I don't know why. Somehow they forget that people have jobs and are just human like everyone else, but oh well. Sorry you went through that, but yes, bag on the side. Next one is, you people hide the labels on purpose. Oh, this is just getting so ridiculous. Happened 2 days ago. Customer, hey, can you help me? I'm looking for a famous brand spicy tomato ketchup. The shelf label says there should be some, but it's not where it's supposed to be. Crisis. Me, yes, of course. It's a bit strange because that aisle was being restocked 2 hours ago, but what do I know? I walk up to the aisle with a customer and she starts gesticulating towards the shelf. Customer, see, it's not where it should be and I can't find it. Yay! I look and see a dozen of famous brand spicy tomato ketchup exactly where they're supposed to be. The first one in the row though is turned backwards and the label faces the back of the shelf. Probably someone took it and put it back the wrong way. Happens. I turn it the right way and show her the label, but instead of thanking me, she goes on a rant. How was I supposed to know what it was? I know you people turned the bottles the wrong way on purpose to confuse people. Why would we do that? That just causes more work for ourselves. Let alone if our manager or supervisor walks by and sees our area untidy, we're just gonna get shit for it. So why would we want to do that? Ma'am, no one would ever do that. We try and limit interactions with angry customers like you. Well, that's what I wanted to say. What I said for real was more like, sorry for the inconvenience. Can I help with anything else? I know, because you just gotta suck it up, isn't it? But yeah, ridiculous indeed. I just don't know why would you think we want to hide the products from you? I don't want to go after my shift ends and buy 12 bottles of famous brand spicy tomato ketchup. Someone said, of course, clearly we don't want to sell the products on the shelves for absolutely no reason. Exactly. Someone said, you got us. We turn it around so that people will put more effort into hunting us down than actually turning the item so we can do more work and waste both of our times. Literally, exactly. Sometimes I get that sometimes it's hard to see. Like, you know, when a product is turned around and you might not turn it yourself. I understand that and getting someone to come check it out for you. But then after it's been revealed that your dream life ketchup is there right in front of your eyes, just say thank you. You don't need to blame anyone there. I blame someone for something that actually doesn't make sense. Okay, last one. Woman refuses compromise, then blames us. For context, this happened about 2 years ago when I worked at a boba shop. Oh, now I want boba. It was located in a mall and half of the only locations in our city. All employees except managers were teenagers or college students, ages ranging from 14 to 19. That's fair. Love that. Okay, the story. This day was pretty slow and it was just me, 15 female, and my co-worker, 17 female, working that day. These two women come up and are starting to order, asking a few questions, but it's normal. I was on cashier and one of the ladies asked me if she can get extra sugar in the matcha milk. I tell her that our matcha powder is already a formulated powder with sugar in it, so we aren't really allowed to put more sugar in it. You'll see why. It's 2 different sugars, it's stupid, but it's our rules. Fair enough, if you have certain rules about it then, okay, you just gotta say that. She starts getting an attitude, rudely asking why, so I politely explained that our sugar is a thick syrupy cane sugar and we aren't really allowed. Fair. She starts throwing a tantrum and makes a big deal out of picking a new drink. You don't need to pick a new drink. You can still get that drink unless you've had it before and you know it's not sweet enough. Then maybe ask, okay, I understand you can't add any sugar, but surely places like this or nearby have like sugar packets. So if another drink can add sugar, can you not be like, okay, can I have the matcha milk? And then can I have a sugar packet? So you yourself can put sugar inside. I don't see what the problem is. Panicked me and my coworker trying to people please and tell her that we can put the sugar in for her and put it in our shakers, but the milk might turn out a little frothy. Oh, still doing it anyway? Oh my god, bless you girls. She says, no, it's whatever. All curt. Her friend is literally laughing at her tantrum at this point and trying to tell her to just compromise, but she's getting a bigger attitude with her friend. Okay, well, I'm glad her friend is putting her in her place because, yeah, that's not right. So she settles for another drink and it's time to pay. The tip question comes up on our tablet and I really don't expect her to tip or care if she does. But she does this dramatic snort laugh and goes, duh, before dramatically clicking what I know is the 0% option. I know this is probably what in the US, in which case the tipping culture there is very different from in the UK. But yeah, there's no need to add attitude to it. Bet she felt so nice leaving with her drink, knowing she made 2 teenage girls' job harder, probably added more flavour to the drink. You should just spat in the drink. I don't understand as well, if it's a literal procedure and you can't do it, I don't understand why you would push for it to happen. Like, those procedures are in place for a reason, probably for your health and safety. And even when the girls, bless their souls, pushed and said that they could do it with frothing up the milk, then you still have an attitude and say no. Like, choose what you want. Someone said it's amazing how much people will mistrust someone who's in the industry and knows what they're talking about. Literally. I've been trained for certain areas of the store and still when people come up to me, they don't trust what I'm saying because they don't think I'll know about it. And even when they say I'm literally trained to handle the situation, they just don't believe me. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do or say? I'm literally the only person you can ask right now. Someone said, did your store charge for extras? If not, there's no need for the customer to know that, especially if they copped a tood. I may have said, okay, 50 cents extra charge to the card, no refunds. OP said, no they don't, but that's honestly much better. We were nervous teenagers though, so we weren't thinking much. I wish I did something instead of letting her bully us. Yeah, I get, but honestly, 15 and 17, that's really young. And especially if this is one of your first retail roles or dealing with rude customers, then it can often be a little bit intimidating, obviously, at the time. And you're not sure how to handle it or what to do. So in the moment, you have those instincts to just listen to the customer, do what they say. Many times our customers be absolutely rude towards me, and I've seen customers be so rude to my co-workers, and where as soon as a customer leaves, we're just like, how the hell did you stay calm throughout that? But sometimes you just put on that brave face and you just get through it, because it's sometimes better than just having a terrible interaction, you know? Someone said that's your job, you signed up for it, lol. And OP responded with, to deal with people's bullcrap. Unfortunately, I guess it is, but it's not though. I know how we've all normalized this idea of, oh, you work in retail, well, you're gonna get crappy people, that's just the way life is. Well, actually, it shouldn't be. Working in retail is, or even not even retail, but working in jobs like foods and supermarkets, all that kind of stuff, you're not signing up to be mistreated by people. You're signing up to do specific jobs, whether that's working grocery stores or boba shops or, clothes, selling that kind of stuff. You're signing up to do that specific job, not to deal with crappy customers. So no, I don't think you should get used to this idea or normalize the idea of being mistreated in this industry, because no, it's a really sad thing, and it's a shame that there's a lot of shitty people in the world that still treat others really poorly, and that shouldn't be normalized. That should be frowned upon. And I know the whole concept of, oh, well, people are having a bad day, so you just got to treat them nicely. And I'm like, well, the respect goes both ways. It's not exactly fun all the time working in retail. So customers should be putting that respect as well onto you and treating you as if, you might have had a bad day too. This was interesting, and gosh, a lot of crazy stories. It's sad to see a lot of people experience this stuff, but let's be real, it's gonna keep happening, unfortunately. If you've worked in retail before, let me know if you've had any juicy stories or bad interactions with customers, because I feel like you can't go through retail when not experiencing something bad. But thank you all so much for joining, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye.